Yeah, we have January 26th with Munguia. We're happy to announce that we signed a multi-fight deal with Munguia and Sanfer Promotions. So we want to thank our partners, Sanfer Promotions. He will be fighting in Houston, January 26th. And he will be fighting Inoue, Tekashi Inoue. I believe he's a Japanese, ranked number 4 in the world, undefeated. So that's our plan, headlining obviously at the Toyota Center in Houston. So we're really looking forward to that one. So we'll take a few days off and back to the grind.
Munguia, he's a monster. 154. Too early or not appropriate to think about an all-Mexican showdown with him and Canelo at some point, maybe?
Too early now. He's obviously fighting at 154. As you see, Canelo's fighting at 160 or 168. But yes, you're right. Munguia is a monster.
Canelo already said that 168 is going to be his max. So current light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol said he's willing to come down to 168 to fight Canelo. Would that be a fight that would interest you, or is that probably a little too risky?
Well, we have to see. I mean, we have to see. Look, Canelo is has a target on his back, you know, and everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to challenge him. I'm pretty sure Anthony Joshua wants to challenge him as well. You know, we have to take a look at all the 60-pound fighters and 68 first. You know, I mean, and there's so many challenges out there for him. So before we think about light heavyweights and Bivol, I think we should just focus on the 60-pounders and the 68-pounders.
Oscar, I apologize if you kind of already talked about this, but a couple days ago you told me that you didn't want this fight, you didn't want this weight class. So how impressed are you right now, and are you now comfortable with him campaigning at 168?
I do feel very comfortable. I mean, it just doesn't seem to amaze me, like how powerful he is and how that much better he's getting every single fight. You know, he looks solid at 168. He looks comfortable. So after this performance, you know, I'm still a little weary of facing him with the top guys at 168, because you never know. And it's like I said, this wasn't the toughest challenge at 168. It wasn't the easiest as well, but you know, I mean, he looked very comfortable in there, very comfortable.
Oscar right here. Now that you had a full experience with Dazn, what is your impression with Dazn now that it's concluded, Canelo versus Fielding?
I'm very impressed with Dazn. I was sitting next to the owner, and I believe it was his first fight, and he was ecstatic. He was so motivated to continue even pumping even more money into the sport of boxing. And that's music to my ears, because I can now rest assured that boxing is alive and well for many years to come. And the last words he told me was, "I'm sorry, Oscar, but pay-per-view is dead." And I agree with him. I believe that with all the resources that this gentleman has, he's going to make any fight happen on his platform, Dazn. So I was very, very impressed.
Oscar, Chris Connor here from Last Call in the Fight City. You mentioned Jay Maniga, you signed him to a multi-fight deal, as you said. The top guys at 154 are all with Al Haymon. I know that you and Al have a complicated relationship, so what's the future for Jamie going forward? Well, can we see him maybe at 160 if you don't get a good deal for Jamie against, let's say, a Lara, a Charlo, one of those guys?
Yeah, look, I mean, like I said, we're willing to work with anybody, and we've proved that in the past. Eric has a wonderful relationship with Al Haymon. Me, not so good, but Eric has a great one with him. And Eric's made deals with Al Haymon with no problem whatsoever. So I can set my ego aside just to bring you the best fights possible. That's it. That's the bottom line. I mean, that's what Golden Boy's all about, you know? So this is what we're all about. I mean, look, we want to make the best fights. That's it.
Oscar, te pido un breve resumen de lo que te deja esta noche este evento aquí en el Madison Square Garden, pero como promotor, ¿qué te deja este evento?
No, pues estoy muy agradecido por los fans que salieron a apoyar al Canelo, que salieron a apoyar al boxeo, y el Canelo obviamente demostró nuevamente que él es un gran campeón y sigue siendo un gran campeón y está mejorando y está creciendo. Madison Square Garden es una arena muy especial. Te saca lo mejor de ti. Así que estoy muy agradecido por Nueva York y por Madison Square Garden y por el Canelo, que demostró nuevamente lo que es el Canelo. Y el Canelo es un peleador serio, un peleador bien dedicado a su deporte y quiere hacer historia, la máxima historia que él pueda hacer. Así que esta noche estoy muy contento y muy agradecido.
Oscar, buenas noches.
Very soon, and he's a very, very impressive fighter. We have our eye very close on him, and he's on the verge. Next year is going to be a big year for Duno, so we're really, really excited about him. He keeps proving, once again, day in, day out, that he belongs on the biggest stage there is to fight in. So I think by the second quarter, third quarter, I think he'll be ready.
Oscar, buenas noches, felicitaciones por este gran show, Claudio Coronel de Fox Sports. Recién hablábamos de la arena, lo que había significado que el Canelo pelea acá en Madison Square Garden. Vos en la semana hablaste del Estadio Azteca, ya sabemos que en mayo no va a ser, pero en México se generó mucha expectativa y creo que sería una forma también de seguir haciendo historia. ¿Cuándo podemos ver al Canelo en el Azteca?
Sí, no, eso lo vamos a hablar. Y estoy muy contento. Mira, yo estoy feliz y contento a la misma vez de que ya no va a haber pay-per-view, ¿verdad? Porque mi carrera se hizo en pay-per-view y ahora ya no va a haber pay-per-view. Pero lo que hace Dazn, esta nueva plataforma digital, se presta para llevar al Canelo a diferentes partes del mundo. Y un sueño de Saúl, un sueño mío siempre ha sido promover una pelea en el Estadio Azteca. Así que eso lo vamos a hablar con el gobierno mexicano, con Emilio Escárraga, lo vamos a hablar. Tenemos mucho apoyo en México, así que el gran Julio César Chávez tiene el récord, creo que es 130,000 almas en el Estadio Azteca, y eso lo hizo el señor Escárraga con el equipo de Chávez. Y yo he escuchado de que Emilio, el hijo, quiere tratar de igualar la historia que hizo su papá y Julio César Chávez con el Canelo. Así que eso lo vamos a platicar.
Oscar, right here.
He asked me if it's possible to fight Canelo at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, and I told him, look, this is the wonderful relationship we have with Dazn, is that we now have the liberty to fight anywhere around the globe, whether it's here in New York, whether it's in all over the world, and including Mexico City and Estadio Azteca, and it's a big possibility. So we're extremely proud and happy that we can form this alliance with Dazn, because they've allowed us to promote Canelo all over the world. So he's walking now. So.